All right, now moving on to the simpler question. I would say it's not simpler, sorry, shorter question, okay? You expect the recording to become a lot shorter. That's good for you. Right, and now let's look at question 6A. What is this structure? Remember, 丑丑的 ha, something very ugly inside. Okay, that is mitochondrion. That is mitochondrion. Moving on, the adaptation of R to perform its function. So what is R? Again, this one has been done in chapter 2 for quite a few times. Just remember, folded inner membrane. Folded inner membrane. That is to, remember, increase the surface area. Increase the surface area to generate more energy. To generate more energy. Okay. Yeah, and you can see this literally relates to the function. This will then relate to the function. Okay, cool. That's it. Very simple. If you remember, if you learn from chapter 2, it should be simple for you. Next question. What is a final observation? So yes, explain the final observation. So please tell me first, what is the final observation? Right. Diagram has been given to you and they asked you to explain it. So you don't just tell me, oh, hypertonic. No, not too fast. Not too fast. You should first start with the question. The diagram is given to you. Final observation. So what's that final observation? Well, we see here, it curves upward, right? The chili bends upward. So you start with that. Start with that. Start with what the question has been asking you to, has been showing you to do. Okay, like just now you see in the question 5, we started off with the water decrease, increase. Start with something simple. Start with what you see, then only continue with the explanation, which is what you learned. So what you learned about that? Yes, you learned that this is due to tap water. Tap water. So how can tap water be useful here? Yes, because tap water, by the way, tap water, what's that? 水龙头的水. Water from the tap, of course, it is hypertonic. It is so almost quite pure. There's not much solid, right? So of course, hypertonic to the cell of silly cell. Right? Then that means the water will diffuse out. Now, you see, diffuse in. You see, even if you don't know what happened to the chili, wait, why is it looking like that? I don't know. I never seen that. Fine. As long as you know it's tap water, I think that's good enough. Because tap water for sure, this too much you can't run away from it. Because tap water is indeed hypertonic. How can it be hypertonic, right? So tap water is already a good hint to you. Even if you don't know what happened here, it's fine. Just do whatever you can do. In this case, if you know it's tap water, you should then put the answer still. Water diffuse into the chili by osmosis. Right? And some typical examples, cell become turgid, whatever things like that. This is some of the extra answer they're given here. They even talk about the vacuole. Yeah, sure, vacuole expand. But yeah, basically just follow the typical template. Now again, my point over here is that even if you don't know what happened in the end of the chili, it doesn't matter Just talk about the water. You should know at least that water is hypertonic. Distilled water also hypertonic. If they give you a salt solution, hyper law, right? So even if you don't know what happened, even if the KEBAT question looks too difficult, there must be something you know how to do. There must be something you can actually hold a grip on because you have learned that before. Then yeah, use that to help you along basically. And worst to worst. If you memang langsung tak tahu apa-apa pun hyper, you can't even know what is hyper, then you take one just tempat one Do you think it's hyper? You tempat one and then you go with it. Okay. Now let me quickly explain also why is it bending outward? This one is very similar to what we done before this. We done before on the cucumber. Remember if there's a cucumber in the filled water, what happened is that this part will expand and this part won't expand. So it become curved. Same over here though, because the skin is not permeable to water, but the flesh is expanding. That's why the flesh expand, the skin doesn't expand, so it just bends. Okay, that's it. That is for question 6. Thank you very much.